Anybody who considers themselves an activist, whether they like it or not, has been impacted by the work of Emmeline Pankhurst, by the work of the suffragettes, by the work of the complete history of people who have gone before us in doing this work. In terms of like the ways that we strategize, the ways that we organize, direct action, all of the things that we do to make an impact in the world, I think those are all learnt behaviors that we've learnt from people who have gone before us. People always ask me actually what the spark was, and I always find this really interesting because I don't think there was like a one moment. I think it was like a series of really small moments and really small conversations. For me, probably the big shift, like the big paradigm change, was realizing that this wasn't like a conversation about me as a man saving all of the women. It was also a conversation about the fact that this impacted me and everybody I know in my community, men, women, non-binary, trans, whoever it is. People are impacted by like the structures and the systems around us that tell us we have to be certain ways or we have to do certain things. And so I think that was like the thing that got me started, was a series of fortunate incidents. I'm not big on the idea of role models. And I say that because I think if you don't know people personally, like everybody's gonna make mistakes at some point. And I think especially in today's climate, when people make mistakes, like I don't think the general populace are like super gracious, right? But I do think if I'm thinking of people I know, I would look to people that I would wanna call my mentors, who won't let me call them my mentors, but my first boss in this kind of work, the person that trained me and taught me how to have these conversations with men, I would say she is a woman who has modeled to me what it means to be a feminist, to live like a feminist, and to consider that in all of your actions and your behaviors and the ways that you relate to people. And I think also Tony Porter has been a big influence on me because he was the first man I'd ever seen talk about feminism, talk about these issues, talk about gender equality as though men were a part of that conversation. And so I think I take a lot of encouragement and guidance from those kinds of people. If you are somebody who doesn't identify as a woman and you want to be involved in the feminist space, I would say that the first step is to listen. I think actually, like, contrary to popular belief, people need to maybe take a step back and really like have a think. Listen to what people are saying around them. Listen to women. Listen to trans people. I think there is something important about really taking stock of who you are and where you are. So thinking about like which privileges you have, like all of us in some ways, in different ways, have privilege. Thinking about the power that we have in our lives, in our families, in our communities, and then thinking about how we can use those things to disrupt and to dismantle systems that are oppressing other people. And I think those are like pretty big steps and they take some time, but I think, yeah, that first bit of like listening, doing some learning, read some books. If you're like me and you don't read books, watch some videos, go on YouTube, there's free stuff everywhere. It's about a lot of reflection on self and like your own relationship to your own gender, and coming to terms with like how you move through the world and what impact that has on other people. I think education is absolutely fundamental in terms of helping men to become allies. And mainly because as a man, in my own journey of allyship, I think there are just so many things that you have no idea about because you don't experience them. And unless somebody teaches you about those things, you're never gonna understand them. And so I don't think that makes people bad people. I don't think it means that they're necessarily in the wrong, but I do think there's an important role that has to be played in terms of like people teaching other people. And I think learning is like the baseline for everyone. I think no matter who you are, no matter what your positionality is, you've got to do some learning and some education. So shout out to all the teachers who are helping us and leading us in that way. People do always ask me like where I think we are in this journey of feminism, of social action, whatever it is. And I think we're in different places for different people. I don't think it's linear. I don't think there's like a starting point and an end destination. I think the nature of this work is that you're constantly learning, you're constantly evolving, your views are changing, you're experiencing different things, you're experiencing different people, and you've got to be reflexive to all of that stuff. So I think you're constantly going on a journey of change. But I think as long as you're moving, you're in a good place. And it feels like we're moving, so that's positive.